Next photo, what happens here is that Nick does decide to charge into the flank of the Marauders with his Dryads. Now, I thought, man, made a mistake here. Potentially, with some good rolling, he could easily wipe me out and win the game this way by killing such an important unit. My spells were going off through the first couple of turns to some decent effect, but I didn't really want to lose all my spells just from this one attack. What actually happened here is that I managed to win the combat, and the Dryads just hung around. Or no, maybe I lost the combat but stuck around. Either way, a single round of combat went by, and I was able to charge in the rear with the Chariot. We'll come to that later. Next photo, Chaos Warriors over here on the hill. The Dryads have actually charged the single Marauder horseman that I had positioned in front of the Glade Riders, and that horseman fled, forcing the Dryads to fail the charge. They've already moved over 5 inches, therefore they're at the corner of this Warriors unit. Chaos Warriors will now be able to charge the Dryads. They have the Mark of Slainish, so they're not too worried about charging the Dryads, and the Glade Riders just moving in to shoot at them. Cool little photo. Next picture, what's happened here is the Wild Riders have moved back behind the hill so they can't be charged by the Chariot, and the Glade Guard have moved onto the hill so they can try and shoot at the Knights, not doing any damage to the Knights, unfortunately, for the Wood Elves. Next picture, you've got a situation where Nick's really waiting for me to head over to the other side of the board there with his archery. I've been flanked at the center. The Chaos Knights and Warriors just taking too long to get across the other side of the battlefield, and Treeman hanging out in the forest. Next picture, you've got me charging in and wiping out the Dryads there with my Warriors. The Knights moving on forward, ready to charge in the last couple of turns. Going to the next photo, the Chariot mashing the Dryads and absolutely brutally wiping them out, but unfortunately he's got a Treeman position there, so this is where the real mistake shows up. Because he's managed to delay me a turn, he's able to now charge into the flank with the Treeman as well, so that could cost me the game right there. So really I feel like I've made a little bit of a blunder with that having happened, but elsewhere, also I don't feel like my opponent's been playing optimally as well, so it feels like a close game at this point. Next photo, I've moved around with the Chariot to charge either one of those units in the center and the flank. I've got the Warhounds moving up to try and pull the same trick again. Just charge a unit that I expect to flee, so I can actually control which direction it's going to flee in. Chaos Knights now moving forward, just trying to get into position to actually do some combat and get some action in. Next picture, the Treeman moves in to bash the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. But what in fact happens is that he totally fluffs his combat, doesn't do any damage except for maybe killing one Marauder, and then fails to stubborn roll. He doesn't have a BSB in this list, which is unfortunate for him, and flees unbelievably. And the Marauders weren't able to catch him. I rolled one less than I needed to wipe him out. And the Chariot there on the side of the unit, having forced overrun from the Marauders, actually not involved in the combat. I meant the Dryads there. But yeah, Treeman, unfortunately for Nick, running away. I'm saved yet again by a little bit of good luck, but again, a little bit of bad luck not catching up with the Treeman, so that was kind of annoying. Next photo, the Glade Riders getting in position, again, march blocking units wherever they can, and yeah, just really being a pain in the ass around the back. My magic still hasn't been able to do anything with them, even though I've been casting that spell which causes D6 strength 6 hits with no armor save on everybody within 18 inches. I've been rolling abysmally bad for that whenever it goes off. Next picture, you've got the picture of the Treeman having sustained 2 wounds in combat, running backwards, and I've got nothing to actually charge it and wipe it out, which is very frustrating. He's got his War Dancers in the wood as well, ready to actually get into combat. Next picture, I've got a Chariot over here which is positioned to charge the Treeman as soon as it rallies, and possibly to fight against those War Dancers as well. Ideally don't want to charge into the forest, but if I have to, then I still hopefully won't take that much damage, just given the fact that the Chariot is very, very tough. Already sustained 1 wound though. Next picture, my other Chariot on the other side of the board, just charging straight into the archers who have decided to hold, and as you can imagine, a real massacre there. But the Chaos Knights moving up to the hill, still not involved in the combat at all. Haven't really taken into combat any shooting from the Way Watchers yet, which is really fortunate as well. Next picture, still having to just weather so much shooting from this Glade Guard. Haven't managed to get over to their side of the board. Hopefully I will at some stage, but at the moment, nothing really happening here. Next picture, oh man, Glade Riders desperately charging into the flank of the Sorcerer Lord's unit with the Marauders there, negating my rank bonus and giving him a +1 for the flank. Now this is a dangerous play. Nick clearly felt that he was losing the game, just given the effect of my Chariots and the effect of his Treeman and Dryads doing nothing. So he's gone for a crucial gambit and charging me with the flank. I really felt like this was a huge risk for him to do. But inevitably what happened here is that the Glade Riders just did so much casualties with awesome dice rolling, and I failed my break test and got completely wiped out. General, Marauders, everything, which was hugely annoying. I felt like I'd played the game a bit better, but this is what it came down to, and maybe I could have done things to avoid it, reposition my warriors or something, but I didn't expect them to take such a risk, and it did pay off for him. Next picture, the War Dancers charging my Chariot and destroying it completely. Again, another complete upset. I was really picking the Chariot to win that fight, just given the 6 strength, 5 attacks, but somehow he managed to destroy it anyway. The Treeman failed to rally and actually ran through the Chariot, not high enough unit strength to destroy it, so the Treeman is fine, and suddenly what looked like a game that I was winning is just swung around and totally into my opponent's favor, which was really hugely annoying. Next photo, you can actually see the Chariot still in combat with the archers, this time managing to wipe them out completely, just totally murdering them. Next photo, finally the Chaos Knights getting into some juicy combat against these Glade Riders. As you can imagine, just wiping them entirely out without a round of combat wasted. No need to pursue them, everybody killed in a single round. Next picture, the Warriors of Chaos just running up right in front of the archers there, not managing to get into combat, which is really frustrating. And then a spell went off to kill most of them, so after all of that running, they didn't even really get to do that much damage. Next picture, the Chariot, though, having destroyed the archers in a round of combat during Nick's turn, found itself within charge range and charge arc to charge the Wild Riders, and moving in here, bashing them completely, killing about 3 or 4 of them, and also wiping out the guy on the stag as well. So just a brutal Chariot. You don't want to mess with those things. Next picture, you've got the Treeman actually managing to rally, the victorious Glade Riders moving in and sweeping through all of my guys here. Chariot's dead thanks to the lucky War Dancers, and the Way Watchers still in a position to keep shooting at the Knights, not causing any more damage, but things looking pretty grim. Next picture, you've got the Chaos Knights up the hill. He's decided wisely not to charge me with the BSB moved over the flank because of the Armor of Damnation. Really protects him against the Way Watch. Well, not Way Watchers, the War Dancers. That unit has a war banner and it's on a hill, so good static combat res. And in the background, the Chariot just mutilating the Wild Riders and the BSB and the Stag and the whole lot. Meantime, Glade Riders moving in to shoot at these poor old Chaos Warriors. What have they done, man? Really looking bad for them. They haven't done anything this game. Next picture, you see the last 2 of them rush into combat after being mutilated by spells and shooting, and only 2 of them making it in, not winning the combat. And in the following photo, you see the Chariot victorious coming back on the board, having wiped out all of the units there, picking up 2 standards, which is quite cool, and Chaos Knights really not doing anything either. Next photo, you've got Nick tallying up the points, and disappointingly, it was a minor victory to him. Well played to him, though. He took a risk, it paid off. I felt like I really only made one mistake this game, which was the the positioning of my my Sorcerer Lord in the middle, and possibly a little bit of deployment. I feel like Nick made a couple of deployment mistakes, a couple of maneuvers that he could have done a bit better, but that's Warhammer. I had some good luck, some bad luck. He had some good luck and some bad luck, and we had a good time. And thanks for letting me borrow the camera, Nick. Photos look fantastic. Catch you later.